From classic gowns to California cool, the Duchess of Sussex wears it well, and taking cues from her late mother-in-law, Princess Diana, hasn't hurt. In 2018, Meghan Markle wore a minimalist midi white shift dress during a trip to Australia. The dress was made by Australian designer Karen G and was paired with simple nude heels. Princess Diana wore an almost identical dress in November 1995 during a trip to Argentina, though she paired the dress with a pair of black heels. And while we don't know whether Meghan was intentionally imitating her mother-in-law with this look, she did wear Diana's own butterfly earrings with the dress, which suggests the entire look was a subtle nod to the late princess. As the Daily Mail's royal correspondent Rebecca English wrote at the time, "Really touching to think that Harry's mother's personal jewelry is now being worn by the daughter-in-law she never got to meet." No, you're not seeing double, although these emerald green dresses and fascinators are eerily similar. In March 2020, Meghan Markle wore a midi green dress with a matching cape along with a veiled fascinator hat by William Chambers at the Commonwealth Day service, her final royal engagement. Eagle-eyed royal fans may have noticed that the entire look was almost identical to an outfit Princess Diana had worn in 1982 while she was pregnant. And although they were both similar shades of green, the dresses still had a few subtle differences. For example, Diana's green dress featured a few 1980s touches like smocking, puffed sleeves, and buttons, while Meghan's outfit was a bit more minimalistic and modern. We love to see Meghan adding her own touches to a classic look, and we're not alone.
Meghan's style it has a greater sense of informality. It's a little bit funkier.
At the 2019 Remembrance Sunday ceremony, Meghan Markle wore one of her most deliberate Princess Diana tributes yet, donning a black belted coat and a wide-brimmed bat hat. Both the silhouette and look of the outfit emulated something Diana had worn to the same ceremony back in 1991. Meghan's outfit featured a wool coat by Stella McCartney with a black dress. Meghan's hat featured a ribbon just like Diana's and was the same width and shape. As royal fashion expert Miranda Holder told The Express, "There is no doubt in my mind that this was a deliberate move on Meghan's behalf. Whilst the royal family are immersed in royal tradition and etiquette when it comes to dressing, Team Meghan are by comparison unrestricted." In 2018, Meghan Markle wore a pale pink off-the-shoulder gown to the annual Trooping the Color event. This dress looked very similar to an outfit Princess Diana had worn in 1987 during a trip to the opera. Diana's Catherine Walker dress featured a folded white neckline and had pink buttons on the front of the dress, while Meghan's Carolina Herrera featured a folded off-the-shoulder design and large pink buttons down the side. Diana's dress was made of a silky material and featured a dropped waist with a full skirt of pleats, while Meghan preferred a more sleek, modern silhouette. As Hello Magazine pointed out, some royal fans took issue with Meghan's Bardot-style neckline, claiming it was a little too revealing. That is, until they realized that Diana had already paved the way for the off-the-shoulder dress in the royal family. So not only was Meghan's look appropriate, it could also be seen as a gorgeous pink-hued homage to Diana.
Here it is! Here is our theme. Here is our answer. Pink!
Let's face it, many of us probably wouldn't be brave enough to pair red with purple. However, as both Princess Diana and Meghan Markle have shown, two bold colors can go together just fine. In 1987, Diana wore a colorful outfit during a trip to Hong Kong, featuring a knee-length purple skirt, purple pumps, a white shirt, a purple handbag, a red jacket, and, to top it all off, a purple hat with a red ribbon. This was actually one of Diana's most famous looks. She even wore it again at the Royal Ascot and during a trip to the Taj Mahal. 3 decades later, her daughter-in-law Meghan appeared to imitate the striking look. While appearing in Birkenhead, UK, Meghan wore a purple dress, a long red coat, and a pair of red Stuart Weitzman heels. Although the two looks do have their differences, with the red coat and purple skirt combo, it seems clear that Meghan took at least some inspiration from Diana for this colorful outfit. As most royal fans will probably remember, Meghan Markle had not one but 2 wedding dresses.
Meghan, will you take Harry to be your husband?
After the ceremony, Meghan changed out of her off-the-shoulder white Givenchy wedding gown and put on a white halter dress by Stella McCartney. As McCartney later told Elle magazine, "I think Meghan chose me for reasons other than just a beautiful dress. Obviously, I am a British designer, but I think being a woman and being a woman's woman played a part." While McCartney didn't mention whether or not the dress was a nod to Princess Diana, it turns out the late Princess of Wales once wore a very similar look. Shortly after her split from Prince Charles, Diana wore a beaded white lace halter dress to a fundraising gala, designed by Catherine Walker. According to sources at Catherine Walker, the dress gave her great confidence when she stepped out after her divorce. One way to dress like a true Brit? Wear some tartan. After all, the famous checked print has been around since the 3rd or 4th century in Scotland. Unsurprisingly, plenty of royals have worn tartan over the years. However, there is one specific tartan print that both Princess Diana and Meghan Markle have worn. Diana wore a dark blue and green tartan dress during the Bute Highland Games in Scotland in 1987. The dress featured a lace collar, lace sleeves, and gold buttons. Meghan updated the look for the 21st century when she wore a blue and green tartan coat with a black turtleneck and a black and gold crossbody bag during a trip to Scotland to celebrate her engagement. Coincidence? We may never know, but it's clear that both Diana and Meghan knew how to dress for the occasion, especially when in Scotland.
No, that kilt was only for day-to-day wear. In battle, we donned a full-length ball gown covered in sequins.
What could be more chic than an all-white outfit? Naturally, both Princess Diana and Meghan Markle have both pulled off the all-white look. In 2022, Meghan wore a white blazer, white trousers, and white heels designed by Valentino to the Invictus Games in the Netherlands. While all-white is a classic look, there is a chance that Meghan was at least partially inspired by her late mother-in-law. Diana has had her fair share of all-white looks over the years. For instance, Diana wore a white blazer with a white skirt during a 1997 visit with Mother Teresa. While these two looks are definitely similar, Meghan did update the look for 2022. Instead of Diana's more feminine blazer, Meghan went for a more masculine cut. She also swapped the midi skirt for a pair of wide-legged trousers. As every royal knows, it's always good to dress for the occasion, and on holiday, that means wearing outfits that pay homage to the location. So it follows that both Princess Diana and Meghan Markle have chosen safari-style dresses while on vacation. Diana wore a khaki blazer dress with buttons and pockets during a trip to Egypt in 1992. Similarly, Meghan wore a midi khaki safari dress during her trip to South Africa. While Diana's dress featured white lapels and 3/4-length sleeves, and Meghan's dress was double-breasted and sleeveless, it's easy to see the similarities between the two looks. As the Who What Wear Style blog noted, all of Diana's Egypt looks are surprisingly trendy from a modern perspective, so it wouldn't be a huge shock if Meghan had taken note of her mother-in-law's holiday looks and recreated one of them for herself. One thing Princess Diana certainly knew how to do was red carpet style. One of her greatest looks came in 1996 when she wore a silk aquamarine gown during an evening event at the Sydney Entertainment Centre in Australia. The sleek gown featured an asymmetrical one-shoulder design. She paired it notably with an emerald necklace she wore as a headband. Almost 3 decades later, Meghan Markle wore a dress that looked incredibly similar. At the NAACP Image Awards in 2022, Meghan wore a Christopher John Rogers dress, a notable black designer. Just like Diana's dress, Meghan's dress was royal blue and featured the same one-shoulder design. However, Meghan's dress did feature a few extra modern touches, including a side slit and a light blue train that also covered part of the neckline. Another brilliant red carpet look for Princess Diana came before she even entered the royal family. In 1981, she wore a sparkly red dress by Bruce Oldfield to the premiere of the James Bond film For Your Eyes Only. The dress featured the classic princess shape with a tight waist and a voluminous flared skirt. In 2021, Meghan appeared at the Salute to Freedom Gala in what appeared to be a modern interpretation of the iconic red dress. Her Carolina Herrera number featured the same red color and the same princess silhouette. Unlike Diana's dress, Meghan's featured a plunging neckline plus a few slits. She also did away with the delicate lines of sparkles and opted for a more modern solid satin finish. She accessorized with dark red Giuseppe Zanotti heels, diamond drop earrings, and of course a red poppy in honor of Remembrance Day. Discussing royal fashion with the Daily Mail, stylist Rochelle White drew fashion parallels between Meghan and her sister-in-law Princess Catherine and the influence their late mother-in-law Diana has had. They both know how to bring elements of Diana in, but not lose the focus on who they are. Adding a dash of Princess Diana's stellar style to her own breezy California look, Meghan's fashion sense could be called Hollywood royalty at its very best.